Hello, everybody, and welcome back to 50 Shades of Tay. I'm Taylor Gonzalez, and my guest today has done voiceover work for K-pop Demon Hunters and Metroid Prime 4, and is now the voice of White Fox in Marvel Rivals. I'm so excited to be joined by Jennifer Sunbell. Jennifer, how are you doing today?
I'm doing amazing. How are you?
Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you so much for
Yay!
being here. This is so exciting to get to talk to you right when the season's starting. It's been so much fun getting to play as White Fox. How's it been for you?
Oh my gosh, it's been absolutely incredible. And really quick, my dog, he just got neutered, so I have to monitor him. So if my curtain moves, it's because he's just like trying to come in with his cone, so ignore
Oh,
it.
how sweet. Okay, okay. Yeah, no
Yeah,
worries.
yeah, yeah. So if there's, I'm like, what's happening? You okay?
Oh.
Um, but no, it's been absolutely incredible. Everybody's just been so welcoming and just so supportive and so loving. And I just feel so just incredibly blessed and honored. And yeah, I will say at first I was like, I knew it was a big, I knew it was a big thing. I was like, it's freaking Marvel. It's my first Marvel project. Um, but I didn't know, if that makes sense. And so I was just like, a little like, whoa, this is a little insane, but in the best possible way. And the cast has been, I know a lot of the cast members and they've just been so amazing.
Oh,
They're just so awesome.
oh, that is great to hear. Yeah, congratulations on joining Rivals.
Thank
Such a fun game, such a fun character.
you.
One of my favorite things about Marvel Rivals is it's bringing characters like Jeff the Land Shark or Luna Snow or now White Fox that maybe not everybody knows, like they know
Yeah.
Iron Man or Spider-Man. And now everyone's getting to experience these characters, discover
Yeah.
these characters. For people who might not know who White Fox is yet, how would you describe her?
I mean, well, if you're in the game, you kind of hear it, but she's kind of the Nick Fury of like Korea. So don't call her Nick Fury though. No, no, no. But yeah, she's kind of in that like she's like the leader of Tiger Division, and she's part of Atlas, and she's kind of the head honcho, like the boss lady.
Oh, so cool. What does it mean to you to get to portray a Korean superhero and get to have that representation in this game?
Oh my gosh. So, for those of you who don't know, I'm half Korean, half white. So growing up mixed, there was a lot of like, identity crisis, a little bit of, I'm never Korean enough, or I'm not white enough, and or I'm too much of one or the other, or whatever. So a lot of stuff. So, um, I did struggle growing up a bit with my being mixed and finding my place in the world. But I've always been so proud of my both sides, but especially my Korean side because I also grew up in a military household, so I was on a military base for most of my life growing up. So I wasn't really exposed when my dad retired. Civilian life was very different. Let's just say that. So a lot of my friends were all mixed as well, and so there wasn't a lot of access to, learn Korean, and the Korean like aunts and uncles that I knew all spoke accented English. So I didn't have a lot of exposure to it per se, but I was so I was so in love with the Korean language and everything. I basically took made there was independent study in high school, and I took it, and I taught myself how to read and write and to learn more about Korean culture and stuff. So to be able to portray not only a Korean superhero but a Marvel Korean superhero, I literally lost my mind.
Oh,
I did, because I just feel so humbled and honored that I might get emotional, that I am quote unquote Korean enough, if that makes sense. And that because I identify so strongly with my Korean side. So, um, yeah, I just feel so humbled and honored, to be honest.
no, that is so great. And that is why representation is so important and why it
Yeah,
matters. So it's wonderful to get to hear
yeah.
you, talk about it and also that you get to experience this and represent this character.
I'm so glad that you say that, because, there's a lot of discussion on representation and stuff like that. But for me, I remember watching when I was little, like my mom was like super into like the Joylet Club. And I remember watching one of the daughters ends up with like an American guy. And I was like, and my sister and I were like, oh, they could have been our parents, because we
Mm.
never ever saw that growing up.
Oh,
And we never really we just didn't see that, you know. And even now it's like it's just so exciting anytime I see like the Winter Olympics just happened, and it's like
Yeah.
so much like Asian representation, but also like these like badass women are just like so powerful. And it's like I have a daughter and I show my daughter, I'm like, that could be you know, because you know, she's mixed as well, and she's like, oh, that could be me. And she's like so excited to connect with her. She's Taiwanese and Korean, and white, so she's excited to connect with all those parts of her too. So it's so important, especially for like younger generation.
That is really great to hear. What was the audition process like for the character of White Fox?
Yeah, so auditioning, you know, I'll be very open and honest. I didn't even know who White Fox was at first. I had seen her, but I didn't know much about her. So I got the audition, and I was like, okay. So I did my research and I looked her up, and I was like, okay, okay. And you know, they give you some notes, and I was like, okay. And I was like, let's. They honestly they wanted her actually pitched higher, but then when I actually booked it, they're like, you sound too close to Judy Ellis Lee. So I was like, okay, let me. So I had to go a little deeper, but um, I just kind of tapped into her because they wanted her to be strong and powerful, but super understated.
Mm.
So you know, I know a lot of women out there. There's some women that have been inspirations for me that they just walk with that power and they don't have to say much. Oh, it's also like when your mom goes just gives you that look. You know what I'm talking about when you're doing something bad as a kid, and
Mhm.
they just look at you and they're like, "Tenipa," and I'm like, "Okay, mom,
Mhm.
I'm okay. I'll stop." You know what I mean? So I just really tapped into that, and you know, it took a couple of months before I even heard back or anything like that, but then I did, and I was like, "Let's go."
Oh my gosh, that is so cool. One thing I was curious about, I think she's in one other video game as a playable character. It might be a mobile game. I'm not
Okay.
100% sure. But does something like that help or put more pressure on you that there's not a famous actor like Iron Man with Robert Downey Jr. or Vincent D'Onofrio with Kingpin?
Yeah.
So like you're not trying to, compare to someone who's already like made this
Right. Right.
character
Right.
established.
Yeah, you know, when for everything that comes to me, I always approach it with, you know, because maybe I shouldn't say it, but so when I got Poison Ivy, which is obviously DC, I mean, there's a lot of references for Poison Ivy. And I literally was like, what do I do? And I was kind of, you know, it makes you kind of stressed. Same thing. Like if I, you know, anytime you get a well-known character, it's like, ugh. But what really grounds me and helps me, I was just like, I kind of just let it go and I let the character, because every time you get that iteration of that character, for example, especially if it's a well-known one,
Mm.
there's always a note. We want this, we don't want this, or whatever. So I tap into that, and then I always just put my own essence, my own spin. And that's what I tell all of my students that I work with as well. I'm like, what's going to set you apart and what set those people who created those like iconic characters like a Robert Downey Jr. or, you know, Mark Hamill for like the Joker
Oh yeah.
is they just they were just themselves and they put themselves into it. That's what
Mm.
makes it so special. And you cannot imitate their essence, right? You can do an impression, but
Right.
you cannot that essence is theirs and theirs alone. And
Mhm.
so that's what I do. I always approach all of my auditions and projects by infusing me into it and drawing from me. Obviously for White Fox I drew a lot from like my mom and my aunts and
Oh.
people that like have, you know, influenced me growing up.
Oh, that's great. She is so addicting to play as. I love playing support characters like Gambit's
Yeah.
my go-to. I love
Love
playing as
Gambit.
Rocket.
I
Loki's
love
so fun.
I love White Fox and Gambit's interaction too. It was one of my
Yes.
favorite things. I might have had a crush on Gambit when I was younger. Might still do.
Same.
Right? How could you not?
Yeah.
Um, and so like I remember when we recorded that interaction, I was just like, I kind of want to like flirt a little bit more, but we pulled it back. We pulled it back. I'm respectful, Rogue. I'm respectful.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you don't want to cross rogue.
No, never, never. But I'm glad you're having so much fun. I'm actually learning so much about the game now too, because I know, but I don't have time to play a lot of games. And also, you don't want me on your team for these kind of games. You would be so mad at me.
Oh my gosh. Are you playing it all now that you're in the game? Like, have you tried playing online and stuff?
You know, it just it because I you know it just I got announced last week, end of the
Yeah.
week, and I've just been like, Wow, like just overwhelmed with the like good overwhelmed though. So I
Yeah.
haven't even had a chance to download it yet, but I'm going to. And
Yeah.
I'm going to practice a ton. Yeah, my
All right.
friend was like, Brett, he's just like, yeah, you could just practice. I was like, oh, thank goodness. So I'll join you in about a year or so.
Oh, no. No, the good thing is, first of all, it's free to play.
Yeah.
Although once you see all the skins in the item shop, then
I
it's not free to play.
know. You know you want that undercover fox.
Oh, it's so cool. And then the other thing is, I would say it's pretty easy to pick up. Once you play a
Yeah.
few matches and you pick like, first of all, what class you want, if you want to be a tank, if you want to be a support,
Yeah.
and then you find the character that,
Speaks to
calls out to
you.
you. Yeah.
Yes.
And then I
Yes.
feel like after a few matches, like you get the hang of it. And my
Yeah.
favorite mode for new players, it's 18 versus 18 on a big giant like chessboard match.
Okay.
That one is the best one to practice with because it's so crazy and chaotic in there that it won't
Yeah.
matter if you're, not doing very well and you just keep respawning. So I feel like that's a good way to get
Great.
started.
Now I know. Thank you. Thank you for the tips. I'll be hitting you up later. I'm like, okay, now what do I do? Now what do I do?
Oh
I
my
mean, I
God.
feel like, like Smash Bros can be like super intense
Mhm,
and crazy, but this one is like because it's 3D and not 2D. It's like
mhm.
there's even more to take in. You're like, "Oh crap, they're coming from all sides. They're surrounding us."
Oh my gosh. Uh, as you mentioned, she has that fun interaction with Gambit. I was looking through some of her, interactions with other characters. Some of the ones that stood out to me were with Moon Knight, where
Oh
she
yeah.
says, Khonshu won't answer this time. I loved that line.
Uh-huh.
And I also love the one with Jeff, where you say, sleep it off, little land shark. That one's so cute.
Isn't it? I also love, yes, I'm a fox. No, you cannot touch my tails.
Oh
And
my God.
and when Luna calls me Annie, oh, like when I was recording that, I was like, oh, I love that. Because, my sister calls me Annie growing
Oh,
up. But Annie is older sister in Korean.
oh,
And
cool. Okay.
so, yeah, yeah, yeah. So when she called me Annie, I was like, oh, and then made me think about my sister
Oh,
who, like, for example, like she's only ever called me Annie. So whenever I hear her introduce me as this is my sister, Jennifer, I'm like, who is that? It's weird.
oh my gosh. That is so funny. Out of all the really fun lines and interactions in your alt, did you have a favorite line to record?
Honestly, the ult was so much
Oh,
fun. It was so much fun. And the cool thing about the ult was like, we had different options because they were trying to figure out which line we wanted to do in Korean. And once we said time for justice, it was like it was the one. It was one of the harder ones to like try to like say while like also being like "Rah."
mhm.
But we did it and I love it. It's perfect.
Would you say that was also the most difficult line to get like the right tone for?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And, Michael at Bright Skull was so amazing about making sure to protect my voice. Which crazy story, like after I did my first session, I ended up losing my voice, not because of this, but because of being sick and a whole bunch of other sessions. But he was really great about like, I don't want you to do it too many times. So let's kind of do it like just like a little, like 20% to just figure out the timing and the rhythm, especially for the trailer, because you're doing it
Oh,
to
yeah.
picture. So you're trying to match when the transformation happens. So it's like all a timing thing. So it's a lot of musicality. And then he was like, nah, I need this. I need da 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 da. And I was like, great, let's do this. And it was very Dragon Ball Z-esque. So I was like, yeah.
That is so fun. So as we mentioned, she launched with the default skin, but then there's also the skin in the item shop, which is so good. Are
Yeah.
there any other skins that you're hoping she gets eventually in the game?
Oh man. I know a lot of people are like, so a lot of people were talking about her hair. I think it would be cool to see her with her hair down too. Because I
Oh
think she
yeah.
has all her hair up in like a little bun, right? So it'd be really
Mhm.
fun to see what does it look like with her hair down. And maybe, I don't know, she looks sexy in a suit, but maybe she also looks really sexy showing some skin. So maybe something, a little bit more. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think there's so many possibilities.
Yeah,
I'm
we're getting
loving
so
all the
close to
different.
summer.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly. What does chill white fox look like?
Oh my gosh. There is one skin of Blade in pajamas, which
I
was
love that.
referencing when he was like sleeping that one season. So I would
Yeah.
love to see White Fox just, I don't know, in like
Like
pajamas with some slippers.
yes, yes, for sure. Maybe it's got like some Luna art on there because she's a,
Oh,
kind of like a K-pop like music, who knows? Yeah.
Oh, I would love that. Yeah, and I'm a huge horror fan, so I would love to see if they
Mhm.
could come up with like a horror or Halloween type skin, like how they had Jeff as,
Yeah.
the jack-o'-lantern. Something
Yeah.
like that would be so cool for her.
That would be so amazing. Like the gumiho gets real. Actually, I have an idea because I'm starting to do some trying to get some prints together for people, and I
Oh,
really want kind of a darker one. So okay, it sounds like I should do one now.
yeah, that'd be awesome. I would
Yeah.
love to see that.
Yeah, like a little sinister, yeah.
hmm So hopefully with White Fox coming to Marvel Rivals, there will be lots of new merch coming out for her, like
Yeah.
Funko Pops, t-shirts, action figures.
Amazing.
If there were to be a bunch of, new merch for White Fox, what's the one thing that you would want to add to your collection?
Definitely a Funko Pop.
Yeah,
Definitely a Funko Pop. Um, I think it would be my first official Funko Pop from all the projects I've been in. So, and it would just for it to be White Fox. And I mean, how cute will it be with her tail and her ears? Yeah,
that'd be
definitely a
perfect.
Funko Pop.
I
That's
know.
I've already been dreaming about that. How did you know, Taylor? How did you know?
It's gonna happen. I'm putting it out there. It's gonna happen, and you could display it proudly on your shelf. It'll
Yeah.
be awesome.
Yes, she'll be right here. And I have my daughter's, it's kind of blurred now, but I have my
Oh,
daughter's nine-tail white fox here.
adorable.
Yes, I stole it from her. She's like, "That's mine." You know what she did? She actually won this in a claw machine, guys.
Oh my gosh.
She won it though. Like, that's a pretty good claw machine get, you know?
Yeah, that one looks tough to get. That's
It
awesome.
does. I don't even know how she got it.
Oh my gosh. Well, another thing that I think is going to happen very soon, if it isn't already happening, is people are going to be cosplaying as White Fox at conventions. So if there's someone watching this right now and they're like, "Oh, what's like the one thing I need to nail to get, a perfect cosplay for White Fox?" What's the one thing that you think they should, really just have on point?
I think it has to be her ears for me because I'm not gonna lie, I've already been looking up some ears, and I cannot find the right color. It's
Oh,
like blue and there's pink, but there's not like see I haven't got my nails done for her. It's just that right, just that tinge of like, and it's because her ears are so fluffy and they're pointy. It's like just finding the right ears would
mhm.
be super key. And also, I mean, this is gonna be tough, but also like the suit. The suit has to
Yeah.
be because it's like fitted and it's got unique layers to it. Oof. I'm excited to see all of it. I've already started to see some people that just already putting stuff together and they look so good. And
Ugh,
it's just
that
been
is so
mind
cool.
blowing.
I know we're getting
Yeah.
closer and closer to San Diego Comic-Con, so it's like I feel like there is going to be, White
Yes.
Foxes on display. It'll be so
I
cool to see.
cannot wait. I'll be fangirling over everyone who cosplays as White Fox.
Yeah, it's going to be so fun to see. So as I mentioned in our intro, you've been in Metroid Prime. You did additional work for K-pop Demon Hunters, which is
Yes.
incredible. Now you're in
Yes.
Marvel. Is there like a dream role out there for you or a dream character that one day you really want to portray?
Um, oh gosh, there's so many. And I've been so fortunate to get to play such a huge range of characters. And it's so funny. I find that when I book something, like when I booked Metroid, I was like, oh my God, I can't. This is it. This is the one. This is, and then I get this one. I'm like, oh my God, this is the one. I think, I think my next, I would love to be in Resident Evil. That
Oh
would be
my
my next
gosh.
big franchise I'd love to be in. Yeah.
Yes. Is
A
there a
Resident
certain character
Evil.
you would want to be?
Like, I mean, Jill Valentine would be awesome.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I'm just saying. Um, yeah. Because the funny thing is, I'm actually like, I don't actually like, I'm scared of scary movies. Like, I played Silent Hill. I streamed Silent Hill F, and I was like, the entire time. But to actually, and when I first started acting, I was like, I don't want to do horror stuff. It freaks me out. I don't want to do anything horror. Now I'm like, bring it on. I want to kill all the zombies or like just go crazy. I'm a little, yeah, that's scary. That's a little scary. Huh?
No, that's awesome. Resident Evil for you would be the coolest. I would love
Yeah.
to see that.
That would be, yeah. And what's cool about Resident Evil is that my husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, he's the one who was really into Resident Evil, and we would play together. So I was his navi, I was his
Oh,
navigator, and I would be like, "You're going the wrong way. He's right there. Turn around."
oh my
And I was
gosh.
screaming at him the entire time. Um, and so that's one of the things that we bonded in the beginning of our relationship. So
Oh,
yeah.
that's awesome. You know what would be incredible? I don't know, this would be very hard to pull off, but if you were to get cast in a Resident Evil game and you kept it a secret And then you were like, "Oh, we should play the new Resident Evil game." And then you're sitting together on the couch, and then he hears you
What
for the
is
first time.
that? That would be difficult because he knows like my entire schedule and
Yeah.
everything I book. But yeah, no, that would be a tough one to keep secret for
Yeah, that'd be
sure.
really hard. And
Yeah.
I am terrible at keeping secrets like that. Like whenever, as soon as I schedule an interview, the first thing I do is tell my boyfriend, like, guess who I get to talk to next week. So it's like I can't imagine keeping, especially something that exciting, a secret for so
Well,
long.
it's
Because
also like you work
took
on
a
it for
while.
many years too.
Yeah.
Like, for a game like that, like Metroid, I worked on that for 3 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That one was a dream role too. I didn't know I wanted though. That one is one of
Oh.
the, like, truly because Metroid is another game that my husband played and got me into. And, we named our first cat together Samus.
Oh my
It was a
God, how
boy, but it
cute.
didn't matter. It's the essence. He had the Samus essence.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was huge. And that one I couldn't. I was like, babe, guess what? I'm a Metroid!
That is so
Yeah.
fun. But Jennifer, I can't thank you enough for taking time out of your day to join me and talk all
Oh
things
my
White
gosh,
Fox with
thank
me.
you.
Oh,
You're
thank you for being here.
awesome.
Oh, thank you so much. If people want to follow you, keep up with all your other upcoming projects, be there for when you announce that you're going to be in the next Resident Evil game.
I can't wait.
Where is a good place for people to come and follow you?
Um, I'm on I guess X at Jennifer Sunbell, IG at Jennifer Sunbell, and I'm starting to do TikTok at Jennifer Sunbell as well. Um, Everyone's like, why don't you do TikTok? I'm like, because it's work. I don't know.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it. But thank you, Jennifer. I'll put links in the description of this video
Yes.
so everyone can come and follow you. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, you too. Bye,
Bye.
everybody. 안녕.